Hey up everybody and welcome back, and this is going to be a spooktacular sales video, and I do have a couple of non-scary games at the beginning of the video which I couldn't quite leave out because they were too good to not mention. So hack up them like and subscribe buttons and stay tuned to the end of the video as it gets scarier as we go. Okay, so straight on to Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. This one has a pretty darn decent combat system, and if you're akin to Skyrim then you might feel right at home with this one, as it's one of those ones that will take you umpteen hours to complete within its huge open worlds. But don't worry, you won't be going it alone, as you have pawns, or AI companions as we like to call them in the biz, to help you along, and these individuals will fight alongside you so you don't feel all alone. And with an 8.0 meta user score, this one is definitely worth $4.99. Instant Sport Winter Games. It is winter and I would be a little bit remiss if I didn't mention this one. With 7 sports on offer: bobsleighing, skiing, snowboarding. Although I don't know what snowboarding is, but I know what snowboarding is. And if, like the other game, you don't want to be all alone, well, you can have 4 players joining you in split screen, and this time they're not AI. You can get your curling on together or even have snowball fights. That does sound fun. And what would any self-respecting sports game be if you couldn't customize your characters? And in this one, of course you can. Plenty of collectibles just to do just that. Ark, and at last the actual base game is now on sale, and this is 50% off alongside that already permanent discount that they introduced not so long ago. Brings this game down to a must-have level. If you do not own this survival game, then, well, basically if you're into survival games, or indeed you're not and you like the idea, you must be clambering over your Switch to go and grab this game at this price right now. Although maybe not clamber over it, just pick it up and use it as normal. But suffice to say, this is one of my favourite survival games. This game is so big, it is so interactive. You could build, you can make weapons, you can fight dinosaurs, you can do so much. It is just worth every penny of that money, and even more so now it works properly, which obviously is good. Now we get to the spooky part of the video, starting with Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. And if you need help locating them like and subscribe buttons, well, allow me to do just that. They are down there below the screen. Click them and you will gleam. And so, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. Upon being hired as a kind of handyman, you are tasked with fixing anything that's broken within your complex. This one's more a collection of mini games that you can play and hopefully survive, taken from all the different games within the franchise, and some have even been remastered and updated for an even more scarier time. Have you got what it takes to survive the night? Darkwood, a survival horror game that for once does not rely on just jump scares to get your hairs standing up on the back of your hands. With day and night cycles, the day you wander around the forest, and at night time you take haven within your hideout to seek refuge from what lurks within the night. With randomly generated maps, perks, and skills, and even the ability to craft and scavenge for weapons. And with a branching storyline, this one may have you hiding behind the sofa. But it will do you no good, because the Switch can follow you anywhere. Don't knock twice is probably good advice. Even more so when you're at the door of a very creepy mansion. But sometimes you don't have any choice. And within this first-person horror game, it's up to you to rescue your daughter. in a psychological battle to survive the horrors within. And if you've heard of the film with the same name, then yes, this is based on that film. So maybe have a night in, watching the film and playing the game. But I am not to blame if things get too spooky. And what is a horror list without a zombie or two? So be careful for zombie night terror. You are the brain and you get to control the zombies, terrorize and destroy with destructible environments in what I can only explain as a weird combination of Lemmings and Fallout Shelter. Admittedly, this does actually pique my interest, and it even has mutations, although I dare say it won't have you hiding behind the sofa, but it may keep you entertained for a while or two. Outlast 1 and 2. Go ahead, I am spoiling you, aren't I? These psychological first-person horror survival games, the first one being my favourite, and it did make me jump several times and even look over my shoulder when I played it in the dark. But while it only took me about 5 hours or so to complete the main campaign, it did have me wanting for more. And more I eventually got. Although with this time around it had some different mechanics. The hiding mechanics was okay, but nothing really special. Unfortunately, I didn't find it as scary or indeed as engaging as the first game. But if you did enjoy the first one, then for this lowered price I don't think you're going to be too disappointed in the second one. Well, that certainly was a coffin full of horror. What do you think? Leave it down in the comments, and if you've got any other horror games you want to mention, leave them there as well. And if you're into your horror games, be sure to check out the 7th Guest VR review. The link should be here right now. So thank you for joining me, like and subscribe, and stay breathing, because life is better when we spook together.